Alright guys, back here with another what I hope to be a helpful video. I see this come up very often, again on Facebook groups. Today we're doing a install of a Killer Bee 3-inch hard inlet on a 2017 STi. I already have it fitted in here, so I'm gonna go kind of work backwards and show you how I go about doing this. If you're wondering, I'm going to turn the light on here. If you see black lines on the screen, that is because I've installed some insanely bright lights in my garage. So that's what that's all about. Tried adjusting the frame rate and everything on the camera, but so far, anytime I like move around, it just makes these little black lines come on the screen. So I'll show you how I have it fitted in here. It's obviously secure to the manifold here, right there. I have blue painter's tape on it. That's kind of to protect the finish of the inlet itself from, you know, the repeated going in and out. Here you can see coupler fitted to the turbo, and down in there in that angle there, you can see it's done quite nicely. Now this is a stock location replacement turbo. It's a precision unit, not one you commonly see. So I'll show you another thing that I kind of had to deal with when doing this. The coupler size that Killer Bee sends you is, you know, either for a stock turbo, or you have the 84 millimeter for the FP turbos, or like this 3-inch. This precision turbo happens to be a 2.5 inch inlet, so I had to go about other means to find a coupler that would fit it. So I just have 4 bolts here holding the intake on. Pop that guy out. Okay, going to remove the intake manifold. Alright, now you can see in here we got these new IAG TGB valves, the emissions compliant ones. You can see the little butterfly valve down in there. Got IAG fuel rails. I'm starting to make the lines here for them. I'm going to do a separate video on that. But a couple of the problem areas that the 3-inch inlet is going to give you is, one, it's that little rubber coupler there, silicone actually. So this actually is a piece from HPS. I believe the logo is down there somewhere. Alright, that was weird. The GoPro stopped on me. Anyway, hope you'll take my word for it. Oh, there we go. It is HPS coupler. Nice thing about this was didn't have to trim it. So anybody that's done the Killer Bee 3-inch hard inlet, they send you a coupler that's about 19 miles long, and then you have to trim it to fit your car. That can be a pain in the butt, you know. I've done it in the past where I have overdone it, and I have cut too much, and then I had to get another one. So that was unpleasant. So this is actually a solution that works perfectly right out of the box. It's the right length, fits perfectly. You can see it's pretty snug up against the turbo. Has the little offset bend, go around the TGBs. I mean, it does touch there, but I mean these, I'm sure with this new design of the new IAG TGB valves that I think the fitment on these honestly is probably better than the old ones. They say it is, so I'll take their word for it. Another huge problem area is for your PCV crossover. You have hose that runs from each side of the valve cover. This is the passenger side, and over down there goes to the driver's side, and then they tee into the middle, into that port right there. So you have this hard line right here that runs from driver and passenger into the center. So what I've done, there's normally a bracket that holds this on down here to the coolant crossover. So I've gone ahead and cut that off. I've also, there was one that also connects to the coolant hose that comes from, actually it comes from the header tank here, or your expansion tank, or whatever you want to call it, and then it's hooked up here to your water pump suction. So both of these hoses, I've cut the bracket off, and then this one requires a little bit of a bend. So what I did is took this off, and then I threw it over here in my handy little vise, and this is the vise jaws for doing AN fittings. The hose fits in there nice, the tube just fits in there real nice and snug without crushing it. And then what I did was stick a long, like 3-foot long 3/8 drive extension in it, and I gave that a bend backwards. That way that the hard pipe doesn't touch the inlet. It bends that back. And then as a further measure, this is heat shrink tape that I've gone ahead and wound around the areas where it could potentially, you know, vibrate and make unpleasant noises on the coolant crossover while you're going down the road. So that's pretty much how I have that. I'll go back on here and just kind of show you how I got this thing on here. Again, and forward as my camera has gone wrong. Alright. I like to keep the realism of this whole video thing, so you're getting to witness my struggles with learning how to film with a little tripod that doesn't want to stay erect. It's got some middle-aged man problems. Alright, so I have this in here. Once I got it all lined up the way I want it with the intake, I went ahead and tightened down the clamps. It's helpful to keep the turbo loose, that way you can wiggle it around. Now for the sake of this, I do have it tightened, but I can show you real quick using little 14 here, and this is a great little socket. It's a little 3/8 drive, 14mm, like low profile with a built-in wobbly do. This is fantastic for getting into your turbo area. The bolt on that like stock location turbos underneath the coolant fitting on the side here can be an absolute monster to get to if you don't have the proper tools. So there's that bracket loose, and you can see like the turbo wiggles around. So you can go a step further and loosen the up pipe a bit, but in this case I was fine doing it that way. So we are going to go grab the intake, and we're going to put it on, but we're going to put it on this way because we're staying with feeding in through this back side. My car, I'm just used to fitting it forward facing intake. And I'm just putting a couple bolts in here just to snug it down. I'm not ready for a final assembly yet because Still building those fuel lines. Just go hand tight. Just to line it up, I just put one in each corner. Make it easy. That way the manifold doesn't move around. Struggle with one of these little holes. My hand is terrible. There's 3 and 4. Started. A little bit tighter than I want to, so I will not force the issue. I'll just hand snug these 3 down. I suspect that the TGV housing, I'll just loosen the metric Allen on that so that I can get in there and adjust that a little bit, because I've had a little bit of issue with that particular thread on the intake. And we're going to take a little M8 by 1.25 intake manifold bolt. Get that thing started. That's a nice extended ball end X key, and just slowly snug it on, back it off, adjust the inlet, and we are home. And now we have everything all nice over here. Everything's fitted the way I want it to be. I'm gonna go ahead and put that down in there. Everything's nice and snug. Stick this down in there. And voila! That's how it's done. It is done. My bad. So hopefully this was helpful for you guys. I know a lot of you guys, you hear turbo inlet install on EJ and you guys spin in circles like your Windows 95. So I'm just showing you that it's not all that difficult once you get the little rhythm down and figure out like what exactly is the difficult bits on it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. I'm going to walk into the shadows here. I'm going to keep checking along here and make some fuel lines and give you guys a little brief description of like how to make AN fittings and various ways. I have PTFE, I have standard AN, I have push lock. So look forward to that video and look forward to more black lines in my videos due to these massively bright lights. And I'm gonna have to add this one. Make sure you like and subscribe my videos if you do like them, because obviously I'm spending my time here and nobody likes shit, so do it, please. Thanks.